Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a fantastic day. As always, when you leave a like, when you comment, or when you subscribe, you do help out the channel and you help with the algorithm. So that's always very much appreciated. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. At the moment, for those of you not looking at the screen, it says Bitcoin fundamentals show signs of a fresh rally. Here are the things to consider if you've been paying attention to the channel or just the market over the last couple of weeks, or actually even if you look at the actual fundamentals of the cryptocurrencies, they're doing quite well. I've mentioned this many other times before. I do understand, believe me, that a large number of people are simply in the market because they want to make money. Got it. That's why I'm also here. But it's important to also look at the actual fundamentals of these coins, the movements of them, and exactly how much money is flowing through them, how many people are using it at any given time, if the network is down, if the network has improved, or if it's kind of just stayed the same. We have seen the fundamentals for Bitcoin and Ethereum improve over the course of a 6-month period. Even with prices trending sideways, we've gotten news for at least 2 weeks now that we are on the cusp of, or are going to have some type of rally-like event where the fundamentals finally play properly into the prices. It says Bitcoin hash rate climbs to a new high as price recovers above $42,000. We went over the hash rate news yesterday. I think it's finally just seeping into the minds of people right now. Even though we've had a major country announce that they were banning Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, the hash rate has recovered. We have more people using it than ever before. There are more addresses on the Bitcoin network than we've previously seen in history, etc., etc., etc. And now prices appear to be finally following some form of logic. It says Bitcoin and Ethereum reverse losses, altcoins jump as is to be expected. Bitcoin and Ethereum are tied to every other cryptocurrency out there. So historically, I think it's only happened twice where Bitcoin and Ethereum really moved up and the other altcoins did not move. It was a very weird day. Normally, as they're tied to these coins, if Bitcoin usually moves up, every other coin moves up. If Ethereum moves up, every other coin does the exact same thing as well. It says Bitcoin breaks above $43,000. Indicators show that Bitcoin might break $45,000. I might also buy a house this week. I might learn how to fly. A lot of things are gigantic mights in this market. I kind of just sit back and wait to see when it does eventually happen. Just based off of pure supply and demand, not even actual fundamentals of how much money is flowing through these markets or how much of it is being accumulated by institutions and investors and all the other fantabulous news that we get all the time. Just based off of actual supply and demand and the amount of people on the planet, the amount of people and companies who are buying it every single day, Bitcoin's price is logically, mathematically going to rise, but as of right now, this is kind of mimicking the news that we got sometime last week. You might remember when Bitcoin was at fell down to 37,000, and the news was if we can pass by 38,000, 40,000 looks very likely. We got to 38,900. We hit 40,000, and the news after that was, well, Bitcoin can totally hit 42,000. Bitcoin hit 42,000. Well, Bitcoin can hit 43,000. And that's currently where we are right now. There is nothing logically stopping Bitcoin from moving to around $55,000 plus right now, except for any type of fear or whatever is going through people's minds for some reason, not understanding that we can totally hit the prices that we did before when we had less people on the market and less people actually mining Bitcoin. But, you know, that's for an entirely different conversation. A lot of Ethereum news floating around, a lot of Ethereum price news. I'm not sure why there was so much attention today being put on Ethereum 2.0. Maybe there was some type of tweet, something on Reddit going around where people were talking about the impending update. It says Ethereum reclaims $3,000. Are ETH bulls ready for an uptrend? I think at this point, it's not really any bulls or bears. It's simply the whales behind the scenes who are going to dictate exactly where these prices are going to go. We're seeing an enormous amount of Ethereum movement once again. This has slowed down a bit because we have now 5 other coins who are trying to push Ethereum to the side, but Ethereum continues to do extremely well. There are tons of people still building on top of Ethereum, tons of Ethereum movement. I even saw an article earlier, I'm pretty sure I don't have it in here anywhere, where they were discussing like if Ethereum would continue to be used after Ethereum 2.0, and they were like, well, proof of stake is going to give it 10 times as many transactions, but will people use it? And it's like, people are using it with like 11 to 15 transactions per second, right? So one can only assume if they can do 150 to 3,000 transactions per second, logic. On top of that, it says technical analysis. Ethereum overcomes hurdles. Why 100 SMA is the key? It's not. Don't let anyone lie to you and ever tell you at any point in your life that this has to happen for Bitcoin to move or this has to happen for this. We've had so many times in the past where prices looked like they weren't going to move. Prices weren't moving at all. Prices moved up a little tiny bit. Then the market was about to skyrocket, implode, fall apart, go to brand new heights. And it was always something along the lines of the moving average. Got to pay attention to the 50-day moving average. And it ends up not taking place because the cryptocurrency market is incredibly volatile. And we are also, for some reason, at the mercy of outside events that are currently taking place. That is a very weird photo for those of you not looking at the screen. It is a person, for some reason, I assume, breaking out of jail and or prison with his pure strength and might. I wonder, is he a superhero? How did he get behind bars in the first place? Why were they able to apprehend him if he's able to bend mere steel with the force of his hands? So, yeah, tons of it's not over yet. Tons of Ethereum news floating around. It says, will Ethereum hit $7,000 this year? A Finders panel has said, yes, there was what are those? I guess you could say questionnaire somewhere online where they were asking people what do they assume the effects of Ethereum 2.0 will have on the overall market. As once again, we can assume if Ethereum does indeed transition or upgrade to Ethereum 2.0 in the next 16 or so weeks, as we've been told by the end of quarter 2. Therefore, every other coin's price will also move up as well. They're just kind of completely logical. The questions are now coming out as to if this will have any actual impact on the price of Ethereum. Why is this happening? Because people have nothing better to do with their time. The other point of it being, if you look at the actual price movements of Bitcoin, we have seen historically, you know how like the halving happens, when the mining reward gets cut in half and everyone's like, woo! And then we look at the market, but it doesn't actually move. For some reason, there's about a 6 to 8 month delay of people being able to read an entire article to figure out that Bitcoin's mining reward has been cut in half, and therefore something significant has happened to Bitcoin. And for some reason, all the time, 6 to 8 months afterwards, this is when people start buying more Bitcoin. I'm not joking. It happens every single time. If you've been here for a long time, you're shaking your head like, yep, There's always a delay in the actual, oh my gosh, I can't believe Bitcoin had a halving. And then people start to buy tons of Bitcoin 6 to 8 months after. So the question mark being, if we actually get it on time, the Ethereum upgrade that we've been promised since 2016, I know it's been a very long time, will people take notice immediately? I logically assume yes, because this is slightly a lot of different than Bitcoin's version. Bitcoin's issuance rate drops and people go, there's a huge delay of, processing that information 6 to 8 months. The other issue is, on the other side, is that Ethereum actually upgrading and not cutting its mining reward, but actually allowing 10x, 20x, 30x the amount of transactions going through it, its transaction fees maybe falling to a couple of cents would definitely make headlines, especially when we already have tons of people already using it. Don't forget, there are also tons of people. We've had the news a couple of times. It's not that big anymore, even though it is quite significant. The amount of people who are still putting their Ethereum and locking it up inside of Ethereum 2.0 to get the actual mining reward. So when we actually do have Ethereum 2.0, it's not just going to be the transaction volumes that increase exponentially, so we've been told. The amount of people who are looking for additional forms of passive income are going to continue to put their and lock their coins into the network to have money basically coming in every single month, every single day, without actually having to do anything. There are many different factors that let me know we should, even right now, just with the news that we are going to have this upgrade, should be around a $4,000 or $5,000 Ethereum. And the news that this has actually worked and activated, $10,000 Ethereum just completely logically. However, a lot of Ethereum news floating around out there. It says Ethereum has a big chance to bounce, while Bitcoin active addresses have hit a new high for 2022. Crypto analytics firm Sentiment is seeing bullish on-chain indicators for the top 2 digital assets by market capitalization. According to Sentiment, Ethereum transaction fees are dropping, an incredibly good sign for the smart contract platform. Transaction fees are now officially at their lowest levels since July of 2021. Low fees typically maximize the chances of a bounce because not many people want to trade or use or send it around when transaction fees are $45, $75, $1,200. However, they're more inclined to do so if transaction fees have fallen. We're also seeing this actual drop in transaction fees is also heavily due in part to a number of other side chains and other layers that we're getting. I'm looking at you, Polygon. It's actually helped so much for people to be able to mint, create, use the network, even though this isn't like the finality of the transaction on top of Polygon, even whatever. The point is, yes, Polygon having zero fees definitely has helped people use Ethereum without actually having to use Ethereum. There's a little beautiful chart right there. Sentiment also noted that the number of daily active Bitcoin addresses hit 1.08 million on Saturday, the highest of the year so far. It's a potentially bullish indicator, according to the intelligence firm. So, all around, things are looking pretty good. Nothing's looking, I was going to say off of the charts, but that doesn't really make any sense for the thing that we're talking about. Everything is looking pretty good. We should honestly be a lot higher in prices right now, but alas, it's just kind of what's going on. And yeah, it says Ripple finds resistance at 83 cents. Will XRP reach $1 soon? Sure, why not? Let it happen today, like right now. What's stopping it? I'm pretty sure even during the lawsuit, what was it, like $1.27? Do it right now. Go for it. Nothing's stopping it. Nothing's stopping any coin from actually moving up a lot higher right now, especially with all the usage that we've been seeing of Solana, Avalanche, and all these other coins. Nothing's stopping it. Nothing. Anyway, that's all the price news. Quite a lot, and a huge amount of Ethereum news. Something, once again, must have happened behind the scenes. Something on a website, something on a somewhere. Someone was talking about it. So, yeah, that's all the price news. Apparently, according to logic and fundamentals, which the market never follows, things are looking up. And without further ado, let's move on. Also in the news, on-chain data analysis firm Glassnode shows that Bitcoin investors are hedging out risks in order to stay protected against Federal Reserve interest rate hikes in March. Okay, sure. Glassnode's The Week On-Chain newsletter from the 14th of February indicates that the most significant trend in Bitcoin right now is the flat futures term structure through March. This is strongly attributed to investors' uncertainty regarding the wider economic impact of a tighter US dollar. No, it's simply that people aren't using futures. We've had news about Bitcoin futures since around roughly, I want to say 2018, when they kind of really made it into the space. This is around the same exact time where we had news that the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ, namely BACT, BAKKT, was getting into the cryptocurrency space and the emergence of Bitcoin futures as an alternative to be able to trade actual physical Bitcoin, which I said at the time, and I will still say right now, is absolutely ridiculous. If you are trying to trade an asset, trade that asset. We're seeing a large amount of people who are trying to or got previously before into the futures market have simply left the futures market, and we see rapidly declining futures market transaction volume or market capitalization because people are probably realizing, hey, I want to hold the actual physical Bitcoin. When you are trading in futures, you are trading in US dollars. What are US dollars? Terrible. They're also inflating heavily, along with every other currency on the planet right now. Why would I want to trade in a currency that is devaluing itself daily when I could trade physically or buy and hold the actual Bitcoin that has the potential to 2x, 3x, 10x in price over the next 5 years? I do not assume that the US dollar is going to be 10xing any time soon. So it's definitely, it's kind of the idea, like, and the idea even of futures. Remember when I used to make fun of it, but I was actually not making fun of it? Whenever we got news that the cryptocurrency market would drop because of the CBOE's BTC futures contract, and I was like, why is this one stock exchange in Chicago determining the price of Bitcoin for everyone else around the world? It's kind of like, imagine the neighborhood that you live in, and me and my friends go buy some Legos, like the little like Lego houses, and we start trading them amongst ourselves to determine the value of the property that you have. We're not trading in your property. We own nothing on your street or in your entire neighborhood, but for some reason, the little tokens that we have are able to determine the value of your properties. Makes any sense? No, of course not. That's why Bitcoin futures makes absolutely no sense. And the entire metric that on a Friday, the expiration date for them is coming. And therefore, if they are looking down, the Bitcoin's entire price has to also move down, is absolute manipulation and nonsense. The rate hike is already priced into spot markets. According to Cointelegraph contributor Michael van de Poppe, very fancy name, but the long-term market effect it will have is still unclear. Why we're having this conversation, I'm not really sure. For those of you who missed it before, this was about a good 4 or 5 weeks ago, the people who are printing money incessantly in the United States know that they're printing money to the moon and beyond. They came forward to basically announce a couple of weeks ago that they might, no one knows, but they're probably going to raise the interest rate. The current U.S. interest rate is between 0 to 0.25%. They said if they did raise it, I think it would be 0.25%. A quarter of $1 is 0.25. So maximum, we would have an interest rate between 0.25 and 0.50 in the United States. This isn't anything crazy. This isn't them raising the interest rate to 2 or 3 or to like a 12% interest rate. It is a tiny smidge of movement. And also the news that they also said that they may slow down, not stop, the purchases of securities and stocks and bonds and other things that they've been buying with trillions of dollars that they've printed over the last couple of years may slow down a bit. Why this would have such a dramatic move on the cryptocurrency market, I'm not really sure. The stock market, I get that, because the stock market should not be as high as it currently is right now. However, yes, this is still news floating around. I think this is going to be another, we gotta get over it before we can actually move on. Because I have a very strange feeling. I'm feeling that Bitcoin's price in the relative near future is going to move up, I want to say, around like $47,000, $48,000. Very good momentum. I can kind of feel it. And then at some point, as we get closer to March, we're going to have news that the rate hike looks imminent. Bitcoin's price is going to fall to around $42,000. The stock market's going to begin to crumble. No one's going to know what goes on. They're going to have the little meeting that they have on the television. Everyone's going to sit there with bated breath. They're going to say that they're raising interest rates, and 3 days later, the markets are going to begin to recover. Did I get it right? Because it's probably exactly what's going to end up happening. Anyway, so yeah. Investing is weird. And I know it's not just me. I'm trying to chat with my friends quite often. Hello, friends, if you are watching. We discuss where we should be putting our money. It's just one gigantic question mark right now. Bonds are completely out of the question, as are gold and silver. The cryptocurrency market, we continue to buy in, but we're looking for other options. Real estate also, I'm sure you've seen real estate prices are like skyrocketing, and it's like, do we buy now? Are prices going to fall? The idea of even dividend stocks. What am I going to be putting? Have you looked at the cryptocurrencies are very, very weird as an asset class, because when you look at the the staking rate for these coins, i.e. said stable coin, if you put your money into, lock it up, whatever you got to do, loan it out, you can get a, 7, 14, 15% return on your money per year. That's a huge amount. Even with Ethereum and many other coins, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12%. That's incredible. When you look at actual, what do you call it? Like dividend stocks, some of the returns are like 2%. 3.1%. And it's just not as attractive as the cryptocurrency market. But with the cryptocurrency market, you also get really ridiculous, weird price mood swings and stuff like that. Anyway, that's yes. People are already talking about something. March when, we're a little more than halfway through this month. I would like to simply see, can we price that in already? Can we just have the drop right now so that we can just continue on with our lives? Anyway, that's the hike rate news. Crazy. Can't believe it. Alrighty. Let's move on. Also in the news, the US SEC has allowed comments and feedback. And don't forget the and feedback on a proposed rule change that would convert Grayscale's Bitcoin trust to a spot-based exchange-traded fund. You know what I'm going to say. For those of you who've been here for the last couple of years, you might remember in 2018 and in 2019 what took place. There was a situation where I think around 5 or 6 different companies had come forward that they were trying to launch a Bitcoin ETF. And the only way to do so was through the SEC. What happens is with the SEC, they have 2 moments where they like to really pretend for the Oscar. The first one is they're allowed to, I believe, at some point in the actual application process, simply go, oh, no, we need a little bit more time to be able to decide if we are going to let this through. That's the first acting part. The second part is that they tell other people and they go, hey, we are now allowing public comment or opinion on said proposed rule change, i.e., they want the public to chime in to be able to give their opinion as to if this should actually become a reality or not. That's the second acting part because the SEC does not actually care. Why do they not actually care? Because if you remember, and have been here for the last couple of years, like I said, there was once a time where Bitcoin ETFs were not really in the news. It was like, oh, cool, that'd be kind of amazing if we had one. And there was one that seemed really promising. It was from I don't remember the name of the company. It was from a very large company. Everyone was like, listen, everyone before was the Winklevoss twins. They were a rich household name, but if you said Winklevoss in the street, people would kind of roll their eyes and I don't know what kind of food that is. However, if you named that one major company, they would go, I've heard of that. So the idea was, I even made a video on it where I told people, I was kind of surprised. I was like, the SEC is asking for public opinion. Let them know what you think. Every other proposal that was actually on their website, you could even see it. Some proposals had maybe 1 comment, 2 comments, like never more than, barely even 3. This one had around 180 different comments. People were actually responding and saying, hey, I think we should have this because of X, Y, and Z. And they kept on going through the entire thing. Very long, very well thought out comments. About 6 weeks later, the SEC goes, oh no, we have decided to not allow this through. They are missing paperwork or whatever other lie that they decided to give at that time. So the SEC does not actually care. It's kind of like you live in a country, of course you do, where the government goes, hey, we're seeking public opinion on this thing because your voice matters. And we know that it actually doesn't, but people still try and, put forth their proposal. And then the government goes, oh, the original thing that we were going to do, we still did it, but we're pretending like we were listening to you. That's what the SEC is doing. The SEC members have also even shown disapproval of Grayscale's Bitcoin fund turning into an ETF because they simply said that the market is not ready for it. This was, my friends, one of the more popular news stories of the day, where the SEC basically came forward and they're looking for public opinion on this. We could have 38,000 comments all saying, yay, do this right now. What are you waiting for? And the SEC would not do a gosh darn thing. A notice of filing a proposed rule change to list and trade shares of Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust as a spot-based ETF has generated a long list of comments with a large majority in approval, because there's no reason why the US SEC should not have approved this already. One of the other news stories was, about 2 years ago, was that no market was ready for a Bitcoin or Ethereum-based ETF, meaning the fund actually holds or buys the physical asset. Lo and behold, Canada has around, I think we have 7 ETFs here. I'm pretty sure we have 7 ETFs here. Many other countries, I've gone over them before, also have Bitcoin ETFs. If you look around, things haven't collapsed. Things haven't fallen apart. The market actually seems quite strong, and we see a huge amount of interest in these markets. Many of these funds have also overreached around $1 billion worth of Bitcoin that the funds have been buying. Tons of interest. But the US still doesn't have one. Bloomberg's senior ETF analyst, Erin Balchunas, had a look through some of the more recent comments on the 15th of February, observing that 95% of respondents are in favor of the proposed conversion. He said, just glancing through the many comments from people to the SEC reconverting the Grayscale Trust to an ETF, and 95% are in favor of it, and most using real names and pointing to the stupefying fact that the futures ETF was okay, but a spot one is not. So, remember this moment. Keep it very close to your heart. 95% of respondents have said yes to this. How much do you want to bet that this is, of course, going to be a no? It's because the SEC does not care at all about what anyone has to say except for themselves. I feel like at this point they might also be like a little bit embarrassed, because they've taken so long and everyone knows that they're taking a really long time to actually say yes, that other countries have had great success with. Anyway, that's the US SEC news. This was, of course, like I said, slightly popular news. Why? Because anytime that the words US SEC and BTC ETF are in the same article, people kind of lose their minds and go, well, maybe there's a chance this time. I implore you, friend, please go look at articles from 2015 and 16 just to understand exactly how long this has been going on and exactly what the SEC is waiting for. No one actually knows. Alrighty, that's the sure. Why not? We already know what you're going to do. I would prefer them just to be honest. Get the paperwork 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and by 5 o'clock, it already has a big red circle on it. I think that seems a lot more logical. Alrighty, let's move on. In the most popular news story of the day, not the fact that Bitcoin is being used by people all over the world and is being absorbed by the richest people on the planet. No, it's this. Tesla and SpaceX CEO Elon Musk have recently hinted that his space exploration companies SpaceX and Starlink, a project meant to surround Earth with high speed, low latency, and affordable internet access, could soon start accepting payments in Dogecoin. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I've been waiting my entire life for this one moment. On social media, responding to a tweet from a user suggesting SpaceX's merchandise store and Starlink could accept Doge, Musk simply replied with a wink emoji, which suggests that he's been working on such an integration. How they got that from a wink, I do not know. Dogecoin co-founder Billy Marcus shared the interaction on social media, saying he wants to buy a model rocket with dog money, further encouraging the Doge community to support SpaceX and Starlink and accepting the meme-inspired cryptocurrency as a payment method. Musk, it's worth noting, is a well-known Doge supporter. I really? Since when? I didn't even know he was into crypto. Who late last year revealed that he believes the cryptocurrency is better for transactions than other crypto assets like Bitcoin. So, my friends, the news of the day is that Elon Musk left a wink. There was a moment of silence for the stupidity there. Left a wink, and everyone completely lost their minds. Why you want to buy a rocket ship with Dogecoin? I'm not really sure. Does Elon Musk have sneakers? Are they also like Yeezys? Like what is so important about the Starlink and SpaceX merchandise page that this was major news? So, I mean, I can't wait for it. Me and all my friends, almost said me and all my homies, I don't know why. Anyway, are definitely planning on buying some rocket powered satellites so we can have all the free internets at our home with Dogecoin. Can't wait for it, bro, because, you know, everyone else seemingly can't either. That's the Elon Musk. Left a wink emoji, and this became one of the most popular news stories, I assume, of the week, as we have only just begun. Alrighty then. Let's move on. And to finish things off, anyone who was holding your breath, you may now breathe. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says India central bank official calls for a cryptocurrency ban. We have gone over the news for years now. You might remember in December, see, I can rhyme there, that we had news that allegedly they were going to be adding cryptocurrencies to the parliamentary minutes, whatever it's called, where they were going to discuss the actual regulation of crypto. It was going to be made legal. Woo! And then I told you, don't hold your breath. And then we had news a couple of days later that allegedly they were thinking of taxing cryptocurrencies by 30% within the country, which is an incredibly high amount. And everyone was like, woo, legalization. Now, I think about 15 members of the central bank are now calling for an outright ban, saying they don't want it. And apparently a number of other people in parliament and within the government are now calling for the exact same thing. I don't know what these people think they're doing. I know that they think that they're doing something intelligent. I feel it. It's kind of just that thing. Maybe no. I was going to say maybe they're trying to manipulate the market, but I was like, why would they do that? It's probably because, do you remember the 21st of September? That's it. Anyway, the point is, remember when we had the news that a number of U.S. officials, maybe wink, have crypto? We had news from a number of other countries who mandated that people who are supposed to be serving the public have huge amounts of cryptocurrencies as well. There would not be one bit of surprise in my body if we found out that these officials who are calling for a ban, or know that at some point it's just simply going to be regulated and or taxed, are doing so because they're constantly trying to move the market down so that they can accumulate more coins. The fact that we are improving as a market. The fact that we had this news and the market is still going up, because there was a time, anytime India, China, or Russia, the big three, we're going to ban it. No, we're not. We're going to ban it. No, we're not. Anytime that they spoke about thinking about banning it, the cryptocurrency market would tumble. And I said, if they weren't in the market before, them not being in the market now won't hurt us, because the market is still going off of the people who are currently in the market. There's no need to go down in price because these people aren't officially in right now. If we had news that over the course of a 3-year period, it was legal within India and we had a potential billion people getting into the market, I would even dare say 1/10, 10%, 100 million people getting into crypto, and then the government goes, nope, and that gets banned, that's more detrimental than the people who are currently not in the market, not being in the market at all. So just the same people who were there before who got Bitcoin's price up to 70,000, nothing lost because those people aren't in the market yet. Anyway, when I saw this news, I had a lighthearted chuckle, almost like a Santa laugh. I don't have a gigantic belly, but I definitely tried to shake it a couple of times just to have the effect. Cause why? Because wait, it is, let's say March 16th. I don't know why I'm feeling that date. There's going to be some other news that it's going to be in the next parliament session where they're going to regulate it. And then by the end of that week, I'm going to say by Friday, we're going to have news that nope, it wasn't in the parliament session, but they're going to regulate it. And then sometime around like June or July, we're going to have news that they want to ban it all over again. Because that just seems that why they keep doing this, I don't know. Anyway, that's the, oh boy, I mean, can't believe this is happening news. All righty then, let's move on. As always, whoa, what was that? Okay there, all right. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally, Darren Davis, How's Life Austin, Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and let's move on. Whoa, okay, my eyes. Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd Wiser, Mortified, Roman Geba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum Tomato, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like Mobarazi, Joe Shaw Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren DeSilva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Pat Turnoster, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Mohan Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day. Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Monks, Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigera Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who has clicked like, who has subscribed, who has left a comment. Thank you for all the support on my art. I do appreciate you. At the moment, Bitcoin is currently at 43,923 US dollars. It is up by 4.3 percentile points. Ethereum is up by 7.5%. Binance Coin is up by 8.2%. XRP is up by 5. Cardano is up by 5. Solana is up by 9. Avalanche is up by 10% as well. Polkadot is up by 6%. Anything else crazy going on? Polygon, rightly so, is up by 9% because it's helping to scale Ethereum. Crazy. You can't believe it. Cosmos is up by 8. Near Protocol is up by 7. Algorand is up by 5. Decentraland is up by 10. I think there was some other, what do you call it? The thing with the space in the metaverse. There we go. I think there was some other metaverse news that popped up from like another major company. And whenever that happens, the decentralized versions tend to also move up as well. Sandbox is up by 8%. Internet Computer is up by 8.24% as well. Hedera is up by 18%. Jeez Louise. Filecoin is up by 6. Theta is up by 6 as well. Helium is up by, logically, by 11%. And there's no IOTA. Poor IOTs. Yeah. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be on this weird planet. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, supporting, or all three. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.